show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica artwork here. We're working on our MEMNON picture now, which is the last one that we're doing. This one's gonna use a whole redesign. So we're gonna see what we can do. An interesting thought is that we can fit this shield into the picture. I was thinking about it overnight. We can, if we put the shield in his other hand, we could actually get it in there. And I think it could look pretty good. So we would just basically put the weapon in his other, in his left hand. So let's kind of try to get it in there. And we'll get a little bit of design. I think we're gonna change the general size of the character too. But let's give it a second here. So let's do this and now I'm wondering if so let's take this, we're gonna duplicate it and or wait, we would have to, how would this work? Yeah. And that's going to allow us, because if the shield is going straight forwards, it works this way because he's like opening his arm, his posture to like show the shield. But if the shield is going forwards, then it's just blocking a huge portion of his frame. It doesn't really allow for as interesting of a look, because this one you could still see his whole arm and shoulder and that side of his torso. But with this, it would just be covering it. So instead, we're going to have it be a shield that is looking sideways, and then at least you can still see his arm sort of grabbing it. I might do him without leg armor as well. He is described as having like really big armor that would only fit on a giant, which is why when IS wins it, it's like appropriately sized for him. But I'm not going to stay beholden to those descriptions, because we have to make it our own concept. See, we never figured out his leg size here, so we're just going to change it. Now, let's take a look at what it looks like without the thing. So I love all the gear, but I think we might want to incorporate some more of the Greek elements into it, because right now it feels like there's no Greek aspects, and I think that while he isn't a Greek warrior, it is a hypothetical Greek artist that is making the picture. And as I mentioned on the last episode, the Greeks would always, even in the warriors that are not supposed to be Greek, they would still make them kind of look Greek to some extent with all of the Greek paradigms. So we might sort of like add some of that back in. So it could be something as simple as, put this on a different layer. It could be as simple as just doing it underneath his gear. I gotta stop trying to follow this line. We're just gonna... Let's go to our MEMNON picture. Because this kind of art doesn't really have as much of the anatomy concepts as one might have come to expect. I'm also just going to take this whole thing and move it. We have multiple layers here, so yeah, I think it's good actually. Maybe we moved it down a little bit. And even within the canon, it could be a thing where, like Memnon comes to Troy, and then the Trojans give him some gear to put on, like from their city. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this stuff that he brought, but it could also be some stuff that he was given. Oh, so this is now going to be a spear instead of a... We might want to change where the spear is because it... Oops. Because it will be pretty far from his body now. So we might want to do something like this. This has to be farther away. It still has to be farther away. We're not winning that much space here. Unless we move his hand up. What is this, a left hand? Yeah, so we just currently have roughly a lump, and we don't want that. If you're holding a spear, so it would be like, something in those lines, and we'll actually define what his hand looks like in a second, but something at that angle. Nah, I don't like his hand at the moment. Okay. So first of all, this can get merged. Oh, I didn't draw it on the right layer, did I? Okay. Let's delete this one for now. And good. Well, we're in a good spot. I think I'm going to want to move his legs to be a little bit longer too and farther away from each other. Great, let's save it. We're getting there, ladies and gents. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button.